Well, hello everyone, and welcome to a new live stream here on Access the Animals. My name is Marco, and today you guys are in for a very special stream. You might have seen it, we have teased it on our social media. We are going to share some first impressions about Assassin's Creed Nexus after we got to test it. And like you can see, we are joined by a special guest. Hello, Sebastian from Memento Gallery.
Sure, I didn't get to test it, so I can't wait to see this footage. Hello, everyone. How are you?
Hello, everyone in the chat. Hello, Mackerman. Hello, Toute Bleu 601. Hello, Sam. Hello, WLM. Hello, guys. Hello. Some of our ATA insiders in the chat as well. Hello, Animals Drifter. Nice to see you again. It's been quite some time since we last streamed some Mirage. Today is something completely different. And we are mentioned. We are mentioned?
Are you mentioned?
Are we mentioned? We are joined by Sari as well, as usual, working in the shadows to support the stream because we're going to show you some footage that Ubisoft allowed us to share about Assassin's Creed Nexus. You might have seen bits and pieces here and there in the last few weeks online. And we're going to have a look at some of the trailers. And while doing that, we're going to comment because recently Sarah and I got to test Nexus. Specifically a mission where we played as Ezio di Torre in Venice. So the footage that we're going to show is not directly from what we it's not direct capture from what we tested. It's pre-made by Ubisoft, but it still shows a little bit of how the mission plays. And while we're going to have a look at all the footage, we're also obviously going to share some of our first impressions. And we also invited Sebastian because we got to chat a little bit about the game in the last few days and weeks. And you, Sebastian, are so hyped about the game.
I got the thing. What do you call it? The quest. It's collecting dust because I don't know what to do with it until the game comes out.
But you got it, especially because you're so excited about like what is it that entices you that much about the game? Like what is the one feature or the feeling of the game that you are?
I have two words for you.
Okay.
Connor. Can't wait.
Okay, so one word for me. Okay, thank you.
No, I'm not gonna lie. It's specifically, what I'm most. I should probably stop eating candy. Give me a second.
Well, okay.
One thing that I'm most excited about is the idea of running around for the first time as myself, like with my point of view. I've said many times that I do not like Mirror's Edge because it's first person.
Okay.
But Mirror's Edge is not virtual reality, so like you don't actually feel like you are in the game. But this is supposed to be different. I mean, look at this. to feel like you are in it, I feel like it's gonna be something. I see myself getting into the quest, just putting it on. The same way I still play games like AC2 or AC Unity, just launch it and just run around. I see myself doing this in this game, if the game allows me to do that, of course. But as far as I heard, you might.
It does.
Yeah.
Like based on what we tested, most of the missions, like the one we tested, and as it was mentioned by the devs as well, the missions are set in these chunks of cities. So within these chunks of cities, you can move around and go wherever you want and do whatever you feel like within the boundaries of the game. So you can climb, you can run. There's social stuff as well that we tested. There's a lot of stuff that can make you feel like you're playing an Assassin's Creed game proper.
In VR for Assassin's Creed. It's the first time.
So you guys got to try it, right?
Yep.
It's the first time you can.
What part of the game did you try it?
It was a mission. Basically, the game is in the game you can play as Ezio, Auditore, as Cassandra or Connor, and we got to play as Ezio. And the mission is set in Venice, and it's a mission. It's a mission basically where that you can see some of the footage. Basically, where you as an older Ezio, but I'm not quite sure when this is set. I think this might be set after Brotherhood, but before Revelations. But I wouldn't be like 100% sure. The character we're seeing in front of us right now is Antonio from AC2.
What?
Yes. So
Oh,
it's
he
it's
aged well.
yeah. And I think it's set.
Oh, he's handsome.
It is set, I think, after Brotherhood because Ezio feels a little bit older.
It's supposed to be between Revelations and Brotherhood, right?
I think so. I'm not.
That's why I'm
100%
expecting
sure.
characters like Antonio to be older, but he
Yeah,
looks.
He's,
I mean, not exactly the same, but still.
he's slightly older. I'm not quite sure. I think Sari is looking for the proper information because, as you can see, we are so prepared. But yeah.
So I have more questions. I'm going to embody the chat.
Okay.
You said you got to try a mission
Yeah.
in Venice.
Okay.
Was that mission like a corridor kind of thing, or was it a portion of the map open to exploration?
It was.
And another question.
Sure.
Sorry. Was that part of Venice that you got to explore like the game, Assassin's Creed 2? Like, was the same Venice?
Let me see. I would say okay. So, you can go around the chunk of city wherever you like. So it does feel like a proper Assassin's Creed game. I'm not 100% sure it is the same layout of Venice, but there are like visually it does, as you can see, it does really feel like Venice. Like the color palette is there. There are streets where you can cross canals. You can
I'm trying to get a sense, like looking at the footage, I'm trying to get a sense of the feeling, and for some reason, I cannot. Like, I'm trying to picture myself in the headset.
you can't.
And try to get like a hold of what the feeling could be of like jumping from a beam to another. I cannot. I have to try it.
You can't. I'm gonna try my best to describe the feeling that you experience while doing all the assassin stuff that you can do in most of the games. But until you test them directly, you can't express it. Like, for example, Ezio here is having, like, every character in the game has a ranged weapon. You gain them, I think, through the missions, and in here you get it from Antonio, and he doesn't give you only the weapon but also the ammunition, and then you store the ammunition with your hand on your back, and then
Okay, that's not Antonio though. Like, the more I look at him, that's not him. But okay, go ahead. The same way Ezio is not Ezio, but
yeah, of course. So as you can see, he gives you the ammunition, and then what you can do. Well, now we're gonna have a look, I think, at the Leap of Faith, because it's one of the features, like classic features that you can do, and it's amazing because, like, you're holding the controllers and you open them up like this, like you're opening your arms and then you jump.
when you do the leap of faith,
Yeah.
you open your arms.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
do you have to press something, or the game detects that you open your arms and
I-
just throw you?
I think you have to press something, as in you have to do the gesture, like open your arms like this, and then I think you have to click a button or something, and then you jump. And I was worried, like I was mentioning a few days ago, I was worried because I did experience bungee jumping, and I was wondering if this was like a smaller, reduced version
You did
of the
bungee jump. When did you do that?
I did that in Lucca. at Luca Comics. This, for those of you in the chat who might not know, it's like this huge comics and games convention in Italy that is going to start today or tomorrow, I think.
It started today apparently, and it's already a mess.
In 2013, they were sponsoring Black Flag. In 2013. And as a major activity to sponsor Black Flag, they were having bungee jumping right outside the city from something like 60 to 80 meters.
That's insane, and you did that.
I did that, and it was basically to simulate the feeling of a leap of faith. And it was crazy. I was, pooping my pants while I was jumping. And because you see the ground getting closer and closer to your face, like immediately, like that. And I was worried that the game, or hoping, I don't know, that the game would bring the same feeling. And to a degree, when you're jumping and you're seeing the haystack getting closer to you so fast, and you are doing it, you're not seeing an avatar. It is pretty crazy. It does feel great if you are into this kind of stuff. But I see a comment in the chat. Tailgate is saying, I have a fear of heights, so that VR Leap of Faith would really mess with me. But the good thing about this game is that it has so many accessibility
comfort settings.
Support. Yeah, it has so many accessibility settings and support. It can create a visual grid in front of you when you are on roofs or when you are about to jump to show you that you are actually on a ground level. There are also other support, like you can have automatic parkour. You can there's also a way to have tunnel vision, so that you don't get as dizzy from the entirety of the world moving around you, because it can be.
No, I'm not getting off this until I'm throwing up on the floor.
Hello Skada, hello
I
Elena.
almost did.
Sorry?
I almost did.
Yeah, Sari had a little different experience.
Did you almost get to that state because you played?
Yeah.
You didn't
Without
play any comfort setting, right?
Yeah, I wanted to be.
I respect that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, we both wanted to try like the whole feeling of the game.
Did you guys have that moment in which you were given a hidden blade and then you did that and it worked?
It's so crazy. In the mission you already have it, because it's a mission already in an advanced part of the game.
How did that make you feel?
It's incredible, because like in order to have an assassination,
Si può dire che stava dando?
That's Italian for saying, like, how do you turn?
It's giving.
It's giving. Okay. So yeah, it was giving in a way. Like if you have to, if you want to perform an assassination, you have to flick your wrist to get the hidden blade out. You can see your hands in the game, so you see the hidden blade getting out of your, like, outside of your wrist, and then you can perform the assassination move the way you'd like. Like you can stab like front, or like stab from the top, or whatever. Like it detects your movement, and so you can have different types of assassinations as well. Yes. And also we're gonna have a look at the comments in the chat as well. So.
I have another question. I don't remember if we can talk about this, if we were ever given the green light, but I'm gonna go and I'm gonna take full responsibility for this. We got to try Assassin's Creed VR a lot of years ago.
Yeah, sure.
Like 5 years ago or something.
Yeah.
Before.
Yeah.
And it was the Egyptian one, and it was Odyssey as well.
Yes.
How differently does Nexus play compared to that? How does it compare to those
it is
VR games?
So much different. Like for those in the chat who might not remember, like a few years ago Ubisoft developed these games these VR games, they are cooperative games, like where there's a whole setup where you have to go with friends, and they are available at venues, and they are more like puzzle games where you have. Sorry.
They are escape rooms.
There are escape rooms basically where you have to cooperate in a very slow and collected manner, and you have to complete puzzles. And these virtual VR escape rooms are set in the world of Origins and Odyssey. But this is completely different. Like, that was sort of like an escape room puzzle game. It's slow, you can take your time to understand how to crack the puzzles and stuff. In this case, this is a proper action-packed game. Like, this is an action game. This is it's a action-adventure VR game, proper. You have guards that you have to assassinate, or you can distract by using objects in the ground. You have proper missions. You are in an open world area instead of the VR game set in Origins and Odyssey. They had a very limited area where you could move. And they weren't open world at all. You were in a secluded location and you had to get out. Instead, here it's completely, you can interact with the world the way you like. You can climb wherever you like, or mostly, depending on the various ledges that you can find in the world. Let's have a look at the chat first, and then you have so many questions. So I
haven't been this excited for an Assassin's Creed game
in a long time, I guess.
Maybe I was excited. No. No, let's scratch that. Let's look at the chat.
So there's a VR experience place next to where I live, says Elena, and it would be so cool if the AC VR was playable there. I think there's a website that mentions.
You can have them, like you can have your local VR place request Ubisoft to give them the game.
True. Yeah. Plus, there is a website that mentions where these stations where the AC VR games are available to play. I think Sari might be looking for that. Yeah, it is somewhere like here. The AC3 themed area in Nexus makes me look nostalgic, says Tailgate. Oh, thank you so much, Zarg, for the donation. You're so kind. I have 3 words: deep dish pizza. Okay.
Aww. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Zark. So nice to see you again. It's been a long time since we had a stream. I think it was like 2 weeks ago, and I didn't have the chance to get to our Discord that frequently. So once again, thank you so much, Zark, for the support on both of our Discords. Basically, by the way, right? Also, Animals Drifter is saying, and if they can possibly be comparable. Oh, the way you can freely move around vertical surfaces really makes me wonder about how potent ejects can get. So, it's a very good question, actually. I think it can also be a nice segue into parkour and climbing. So, I usually get to answer a question by starting from way far from the actual object of the question. But anyway, climbing in the game feels amazing because like when you get to a facade of a building, there are so many different objects.
So this is what I wanted to talk about. Because in the VR games that we tried some years ago, the Origins and Odyssey ones, there was a spot in which you could climb.
Yeah.
And it was kind of weird because, of course you're not actually climbing onto anything.
Yeah.
It's more like grabbing the environment.
Exactly.
And moving it around. So that's what it felt like.
It did feel like, I remember that. Yes, it did feel like that.
Is it the same in Nexus?
Not exactly the same. Similarly, but at the same time, Because there are so many different objects and ledges on the facade of a building or whatever, it's not like when we were trying the Egypt and Odyssey VR games. Like we were looking at a sort of like a blank facade where you had like this ladder and you did the thing and it seemed like the ladder was moving instead of you. Because you were seeing like a blank screen with only the ladder as you were moving. But in this case, you do the same thing by actually pressing buttons on your joypads, because there are dorsal buttons for grabbing things. So you can grab items on the wall to get yourself up. You can also grab objects that you can throw to distract guards. You can also grab objects from your body, like smoke bombs or throwing knives. So there's a different there's a button for that. But at the same time, climbing, when you're seeing when you are climbing the facade of a building, you can see a window, you can see a vase, you can see, some wood getting out of the building. And so it does feel a little better when you're climbing, because you're seeing so many different objects that very much represent how a building looks, and so how you are, how you can. It does feel like you're climbing. Even though, yeah, physically it is similar to what you experienced in those other games, but it feels so cool because you can go in the direction you want, at the pace you want. While in those other games, it felt like you had to go at a certain pace, otherwise you would fall back down. Instead, here you can climb vertically, you can climb diagonally at the pace you like. So you can go slowly or super fast if you're able to catch the indicators on the screen properly, and you can also move sideways. So you can go exactly, you can do that. So it does feel way more realistic, and it feels much better, I think, than the other games. And I didn't get the chance to do ejects, but so I suggest you try that, because obviously, being you like a parkour fan, when you get the game, I suggest you try getting to the ledge, like the top ledge of a building, when you're climbing like that. You can try and push you on a side to see if your character can jump. Because did I try or did I forget to try? Because I'm not sure if the game has ejects, but I think you might try at least to fake one when you are at the ledge of a building, and then you look sideways, and you can look for another climbing interaction, and then it might feel like a side eject. I'm not quite sure about that, but it because you are in the game, it might really feel like you are jumping or moving sideways.
Did you like it? Like overall?
Yeah.
The mission that you got to play, did it leave you like with
yes.
the feeling of wanting to play an entire game like that? Or was it more like, for example, there's a game that Ubisoft released for the VR. It's a game, you were an eagle in that game.
Oh, Eagle Flights, something like
Eagle's
that?
Flights,
Yeah.
that one. You were in Paris, post-apocalyptic Paris. Super cool. You
Yeah.
get it on and you fly, and this is fun for 15 minutes.
Okay.
And then it's not something that you want to play consistently. Like, it's not something that you want to like play all the time.
Yeah.
It's just, at the end of the day, it's just an eagle flying around in one city.
Yeah.
Is that like something that you tried and you felt like it was fun, but like not that fun that you wanted to play hours upon hours or even longer?
I think no, it's a very different feeling. I think we tested Eagle Flight at Gamescom, and it is like you said, you're moving an eagle. And
it's more like a time killer.
Yeah, pretty much.
But what
Like there's,
like my concern is that this one, I'm
it's
assuming
not.
is not gonna have the price of a time killing kind of game. It's gonna have the price of
I
a full
think.
game.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
if it's more like an Assassin's Creed game that I sit down and I play for like 20 hours, that that's
Yeah, no, no. I
gonna
think
be worth it.
yeah. I think it is worth it in that it is a proper Assassin's Creed game. There's a story. There are missions. You can interact with the world, like you can see right now, in different ways. You can do like proper assassinations. There are challenges also, so there's not only main story missions, but there are also parkour challenges in the game, which
Some
we
of
did.
these jumps are insane because if that was in the game in Assassin's Creed 2, Ezio would have grabbed the
You would,
ledge.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
But
yeah,
that's
it's
cool. I'm not complaining or anything.
yeah. I think we're gonna get into actual parkour later, but yeah, to answer your question, it does feel like it has cutscenes in a way. Like there are cutscene moments like this one where you can look around. You are in control of the camera because it's your face. Your face is the camera. There's stealth items. There's like smoke bombs, for example.
Jara
There's
asks, can you
yeah.
change equipment in any way? Different swords or outfits?
Not that we saw in the demo, but the demo was set in a single specific mission. But I wouldn't expect that. I think in a VR game where you are the main character and you have a look at your outfit only when you are grabbing, stealth items out of it.
You're not gonna see it much.
Yeah, you're not gonna see your outfit that much. So I think it's more proper to have the classic outfit for the characters so that they are recognizable. And in terms of equipment, I also don't think so. In that the characters all have their own typical equipment, some of which is going to be given through the missions. For example, Ezio here got the what's it called? The bolt.
Balestra.
Yes. What's balestra in Italian? In English?
I don't know.
Not called bolt caster. What's the crossbow? Thank you, Rara. Yes. So you
And it
get
looks interesting because it doesn't seem like there's very obvious things that you can like. Sometimes they're like very bright color in these kind of games.
no, because there's like in terms of climbing. Can you go back in the video for
I'm sorry,
few
I keep
seconds?
interrupting you because I keep getting.
We'll get back to Yara's question. There we go. On the right you can see that is an indicator for parkour, something that you can cling on.
You can grab. Okay.
Something that you can grab, and the same goes for many other items on walls and many other ledges and stuff like that. So you don't need a color-coded element to know that you can climb on it, because you will get a lot of a feed of constant items that you can grab.
Was this a wall rush?
What? Sorry?
Did he just do a wall rush?
No, I
No,
don't
I
think
think
so.
he
There's no
just jumped.
wall run or wall rush in the game, as far as I know. I think it was just sort of like a jump that felt like that. And to go back to Yara's question, I don't think you can change your equipment, but you will get different equipment for the different characters. So we have a crossbow for range for Ezio. He might have jumped and held to the wall. Not sure. You can get like a long bow for Connor and a standard bow for Cassandra, and then Ezio and Cassandra have a sword. Cassandra has like one of the Sword of Eden from Odyssey, but it's just a sword as far as I know. Connor has the tomahawk, Ezio and Connor have the double hidden blade, while Cassandra has only one. So there's a different. There's a the items and weapons are diversified through the characters a little bit, even though the overall animations should feel the same, I would imagine.
You can crouch.
And you can crouch, as you can see here. You can crouch in two ways mostly. Like if you physically crouch, the visor will detect the difference in height, and so it will gradually crouch based on how you crouch, on how much you crouch. But that can be taxing, especially if you're trying to stay crouched for a long time to not get spotted. So there's also a button you can push to crouch. In a way, even you yourself while playing can decide the degree of immersion, along with the accessibility features, obviously. Animus Drifter is saying, every example of an eject in the footage doesn't aim any higher up. Yeah, pretty much so. But there is also I recall doing this in the mission to go and get this chest and items and stuff. There was stealth involved with this part. Like there's stealth in the game is pretty cool. There's you can hide in bushes and crouch in bushes. There's social stealth, as in you can hide between groups of characters, groups of NPCs. You can also hide behind the corner of a wall, and then you can move like this, and this it works properly. Like you can move your head and watch beyond a wall, and then move back so that guards do not see you.
Do you move with the stick?
There's three types of movement. So
okay.
The quest has two joypads. So basically, when you're moving, with the stick of the left joypad, you move front and back, pretty much.
Okay.
With the right stick, with the stick of the right controller, you move right and left. It's sort of like you're strafing.
Oh.
Pretty much. And then you'll orient yourself with your head. So.
Oh right, you don't move the camera with the right stick because you do it with your head.
Yeah, the camera is your face again. So basically, you are orienting the camera at your pace with the degree that you like. So if you want to move very slowly,
how do you control speed?
You control speed with the sticks. If I recall correctly, the left stick that makes you move forward and back. If you press the stick, like in the recent AC games, and then you push it, you will move faster. So if you just press it slowly, you will walk.
Okay.
And if you press the stick and then push it forward, it will run like you did in the recent AC games.
Okay.
So there's no, as far as I remember, there's no toggle. So it might have the
and
same.
then you will move in the direction that you are looking at.
Exactly. Plus the one that you are imposing with the sticks. So it takes a little bit to adjust to that because there's basically three sources. Yeah, you have to do it in order to, because there's three sources of movement, right? So there's front.
But
and back,
you tried it, and it's not like it's something that you can get used to pretty easily, and once you do, it's fun.
Yes, yeah, pretty much. Like basic movement can be. You don't need that much to get used to it. But like the entirety of all the controls can take a little bit more, like because climbing requires you to use the grab buttons, but parkour requires you only to press a parkour button. So when you are parkouring, you can just press A and impose running, and then look where you want to parkour. But at the same time, if you want to do a jump like that one, you also have to grab, right? So in order to get into the whole of the systems and the buttons that you have to press to make the movement fluid, it will take you a little bit more. Like walking and running is a thing, but you know, having proper parkour like the one you're seeing right now, climbing and then jumping and then doing stuff like that, it can take a little bit more to master for sure. Okay. By the way, Elena, thank you so much for the subscription. I am missing words apparently. So Elena has become an ATA initiate. Thank you so much for the sub. You will get a lot of, you know, weird emojis of my face right now in the chat that you can spam. Try not to. But yeah, like I mentioned, it can be super fun. At the beginning, it might feel a little frustrating if you are not mastering the movement. Can we go back for a little bit? Because when we are doing the in a few seconds, okay. So basically, climbing is you have to press the button. Doing the jumps in the same height or slightly higher is just pushing A while you're running. But then be ready to stop. There we go. Here, when we're having these perpendicular beams that we can hold on to run forward, we also have to do these movements, like raising our hands as the assassin does to hold to the beam and jump forward. So there's, like I said, there's a number of interactions that you can have with the world. You need a little bit of time to master them, but at the same time, when you do, it feels incredible. Like honestly, notwithstanding the potential motion sickness issues that, for example, Sari experienced after 15 minutes of a session. If you, notwithstanding those, it can feel so fun to interact with the parkour and the world. Like one of my favorite things in the game was climbing, which usually to me is just more like a way to get from point A.
Did you just say blimey?
No, climbing.
Climbing.
I didn't say blimey in Italian Venice. Nor Ezio did.
So your favorite thing was climbing?
Yes. Not necessarily
climbing, not parkour, climbing.
Not parkour, climbing. At least it was my aside from doing assassinations. Like doing assassination was the top. But other than that, climbing felt amazing because it felt so intuitive. Like it felt really, I am holding to all these objects to get to where I want.
And is there like a certain level of challenge in climbing, or is it like wherever you go?
I wouldn't say there's a level of challenge.
I think you cannot know because we really tried just...
Yeah, we did try only. I mean, I don't think that the game has, you know, towers that you have to go up top and, you know, synchronize. So I don't think there are climbing puzzles. What I experienced in the few...
I mean, it wouldn't even make sense because by the time Ezio already knows that map of Venice.
Yeah.
So he doesn't need to synchronize it.
Pretty much so. It felt fun. It didn't feel like a challenge in that there were multiple items that I could grab to. Even though there were some walls with lesser items, so you could still, you know, track your, like, find a path for yourself to climb and get to the top. By the way, Sari found a a page describing when the Ezio mission is set, and it says you embody Ezio 2 years after his adventures in Rome during Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. So, so it takes place 2 years after Brotherhood. So yeah, it checks out because it. I think in the mission, and it's not in the footage, but I think Antonio said something like, "I found you a little bit older" or something like that, and he says like something like, "I can still." And Ezio says something like, "I feel, yeah, but I'm still able to, to do all the assassinate stuff, so I can keep."
Like, why in the same time? Why did Leonardo turn into Dumbledore while
I
he
have
is
no
still
idea.
like
We should ask the devs because it happens so frequently in AC that there's a time skip, and some characters are so much older, and some other characters are exactly the same.
Okay.
I have no idea, but yeah, in the trailer, Leonardo feels so old compared to the Leonardo in Brotherhood from 2 years older.
Do you know if you get to hug Leonardo?
Not sure if you can hug Leonardo, but in the
If they
trailer,
didn't do this, such a missed opportunity.
yeah, because obviously because of the feeling that you might have. There's a question by Elena: is Eagle Vision a thing in Nexus? I have no.
I don't remember.
Yeah. I think so. As far as I remember, the game highlights guards once you see them. As in, it shows you pointers when you're doing stealth sessions. If you have seen a guard, it does show it to you while you're moving in an environment. Like there's a pointer saying, "Hey, there's a guard here." I am pretty sure there was Eagle Vision. I don't remember if you could trigger it. Yeah, I think you could trigger it. I can't answer for sure. I think Sari is looking if it was announced, because I honestly don't recall. Instead, Tailgate, there are collectibles in Nexus, which I found about by looking at the footage that Ubisoft provided us with, because in the demo I didn't see any, but apparently there are, at the very least, there are a number of collectibles that will prompt you to a historical database, like in the standard game. So as far as I know, as far as I remember, like in the footage, later we're gonna have a look at it. There are something like 70 to 80 historical database elements, which I'm not too sure if it's only historical or also lore. It might be both, because I think it was mentioned, there was a mention of one of the characters from the Ezio mission in there, so there might be lore as well.
She's serving.
She who? Oh, you saw
lady.
The lady. Yeah, let's go back a little bit. See, I caught that. I'm not a full boomer. I can got some. So yeah. So that lady, I think you were referencing the modern day lady.
Mm-hmm.
There she is. This is Dominica Wilkes or something like that. She is basically like there is a modern day in this game. I didn't see any of that in the test, like in what I tested, but it was in the trailer also. Like basically, the story is we are sort of like an assassin hacker that is posing as an Abstergo operative, and she is our Animus handler in a way, and she is played and modeled after actress Morena Baccarin, who is a Brazilian actress that was in huge movies like Deadpool, if I recall correctly, Deadpool and Deadpool 2. Like she was the love interest of the main character. And let me go a little bit further with the video. Does it moving? Yes. Okay. So This is, I think, the only in-game modern day that we have seen in trailers. So as you can see, there's no modern day environment other than, you know, a desk and something like that. And basically, Abstergo is looking for artifacts. It's a standard modern day story, nothing that seems to have an impact on the overall narrative. I'm not quite sure about that. But basically, Abstergo is looking for artifacts, and the assassins are trying to stop them. So yeah, that's pretty much that. Is Leo's hair color historically accurate? Well, it's going to be white, but it's not in continuity with Brotherhood. Like in Brotherhood, he was, you know, a little older than in AC2, but not that much. He had a beard compared to AC2. And here, in 2 years after that, he's going to be, you know, old Leonardo from the paintings. So he's like full white hair, white beard, like super like that. So not exactly in continuity with Brotherhood, but still. Dominica Wilk, yes. What else? Did you get to see more of the modern day plot? Sadly, no, Camila. Actually, we didn't get to see any of the modern day plot. So basically, what I mentioned was based on everything that was announced. So that was that. I already have a crush on her. Is those events, are they part of canon? As far as I know, yes. As far as I know, Nexus is going to be a canon game, both in the modern day and especially in the historical part, especially because they did contextualize all of them. I don't recall the context for them, but they are on the website. Ezio's story is set 2 years after Brotherhood, and Sari
What is it, if I can ask, what is it going to be about? Like the story of Ezio in these games, in this in Nexus? What does it revolve around?
Okay, so basically,
the enemy.
The synopsis on the website says that you are reuniting with the Auditore family and old friends such as Leonardo da Vinci as you discover an untold chapter of Ezio's story. It has harrowing conflict, stolen treasures, and revenge. What I saw in the mission was basically that there was a new guy in town in Venice called Rizzo that was trying to cast his power of the city, and Ezio was meant to stop him. Again, standard classic missions. I do not know about any deeper implications of the story. So that mission was obviously decontextualized from the overall story of Ezio in the game. So
Can you use punches?
Punches? No.
Can you punch people?
No, but
that sucks.
But you can push people like this. So
how am I gonna punch Duccio if I meet him?
You can push him. It doesn't.
Not
it's
good.
not the same. But
returning my quest 3.
you could still try, because if you're not, like, in order to equip weapons, you have to get them from your body. So if you do not, if you're not getting your sword, and if you are not extending your hidden blade, technically you have full
punches
hands.
Your hands, yes.
So technically I did not try that. I should have tried punching people in the street like that. I did not feel like doing that, but it's a very good mention, because Duccio
and I can't wait to try this.
Duccio might really actually appear in the game. So yeah, it might be.
I mean, he has to. He appeared in every single Ezio game, right?
Pretty much so, yeah. The mainline one, for sure.
Yeah.
So yeah. Do we know which characters are returning for Ezio's story as effervescent apricot? We do know Leonardo is going to come back. They are mentioning other, I think, Auditore family. Antonio is going to come back, or fancy.
It has to be Claudia.
fancy older Antonio. There has to be Claudia, I would imagine.
Maybe Claudia will
That's
be
it.
punching Ducho.
Yeah, maybe. Because the other family members.
Hey,
are
the link
pretty
on Twitter
dead.
doesn't work. Had to go through YouTube, says Sheriffo.
Oh, damn. Okay, so okay, Sari is reposting on Twitter. Okay, sorry about that. Thank you, actually.
Thank you for letting
Sheriff
us know, though.
information on that. Yeah. So yes, I think those are the characters that we know in Ezio's story. Let's have Sari post the
When
video
does
and then,
Connor's story take
Yeah.
place in Nexus?
I'll have a look in a few moments because I think it's still during the. Okay, so it's still taking place during the American Revolution. It says you embody Connor as he is contacted by Achilles, so that's before Achilles dies, to rescue an imprisoned Son of Liberty in Boston. So Connor's story happens in between AC3. And as for Cassandra, let me have a look. Cassandra's story happens 20 years after the Battle of Amphipolis. The Battle of Amphipolis is I think the second to final battle you have with Deimos in the game. So that's when Brasidas dies, and that is 20 years after that. And it's set during the time where the so-called 30 tyrants were brutally ruling Athens. The 30 tyrants are actually the rule of the 30 tyrants in Athens is a historical event, so it's not made up. Yes, so we're not quite sure about other characters that that we know of that might appear other than Achilles, I guess, because it mentioned that Achilles sends you on a mission for Connor. I think that the trailer mentioned that there's a chunk of a new city in the Connor portions, which I forgot what it is. I think it's mentioned somewhere in the trailer. We'll see about that. Other than that, I think that Cassandra plays in Athens. Ezio is in Venice most of the time.
Jurgen's here.
What? Who?
Hey there, darling. How are you?
Hello, Clemens. Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you.
Stop.
Hello. 404 BCE. Thank you so much, Yara. Hello, the one assassin. Sharifo is saying, I look forward to playing this one upon release. It's really a fun game. And it really helps you out a lot if in case you are experiencing motion sickness. And yeah, basically, like Sari and I had very different experiences with the game. Like Sari had to stop after 15 minutes. I was able to almost finish the mission after 40 minutes.
Oh, you didn't finish it?
Yeah, I wasn't able to finish it, but still, I got almost to the end, and only after 40 minutes I had to stop because I was feeling the very early feelings of motion sickness. And
was it the mission, the one that we're seeing here?
I'm not seeing what we're seeing now. Yes, it's this one, and it was ending exactly in this place, I think, like at the top of a tower that had a lot of scaffoldings and stuff like that. As you can see, you can push, but I'm not sure if you can punch. As you can see, combat is, I would say, a classic or standard combat for VR games where you can counter attacks and moving the sword the way you like, because of course it tracks the way you're moving. What else? Is motion sickness or the bleeding effect?
No, it was motion sickness.
I mean, that also can be canon in your experience in a way. Like you the hacker, the assassin hacker, was experiencing too much of the bleeding effect, and so
And
they
this is going to be in the MetaQuest 3. Like, I can go out and bring the thing with me. I can go to a park.
yeah, very much so. Like this is available, I think, for all the MetaQuest devices. So not only the 3, but also the 2, and maybe the first one as well. Not too sure.
Only the 2 and the 3rd.
Maybe second and third. And the cool thing is, yes, that you can play wherever you like, because it basically you only need your visor and your joypads. Obviously,
That's
you need
insane.
some space around you to not destroy stuff.
Oh, that's not true. You can also play.
All right,
sitting.
yeah, there's also like some of the like Sarah is right, as she always is.
Yep, I was gonna say that. She's rarely wrong.
Yeah, which. Yeah, so
Yeah, go on, Mark.
no, I'm not gonna go on. I'm not gonna go on. I stopped myself so that I can be safe.
Yeah.
So yeah, one of the accessibility features also allows you to play while staying sit. Like you can also play just with the joypads and the visor without moving around, or
That
just
sounds amazing.
yeah. So if you don't want to, I don't know, sweat, or don't feel like crouching, or if you feel that it's more disorienting if you are, standing, and if you feel more comfortable and safer while standing, while being sit, you can still play the whole game like that, which is pretty amazing. So there's, a lot of different accessibility features that can help you. Did he say which or which? Well, yesterday I would have said which to Sari, which with the T.
Yesterday.
With the T.
Why? Oh,
Because it was Halloween. Yeah.
Oh, that's so
But
funny,
yeah.
Marco.
I'm so funny. How long is it? We
How
don't.
long is it?
Ask Marcel. I have no real idea. I don't think that the devs mentioned that. Because usually devs refrain from giving a specific number, because the way. Again, this is also somewhat of an open world game, or rather, when you're playing missions, you are within small chunks of an open world, so you can go wherever you want. You can stop by and have a look at the scenery. So the time by which you would finish the game can vary a lot between different styles and types of gameplay, and the way you would face a game can change radically.
This was just like a single mission and it lasted more than 40 minutes.
Yeah, this was a single mission that we tested, and I didn't finish it in 40 minutes, also because I botched the stealth sequence so much that I had to fight, 10 guards, because that's how I roll apparently, but yeah, in 40 minutes I wasn't able to finish a mission, and I think most of the characters, no, all the characters have multiple missions to tackle, with an overarching story, and there's the modern day part as well. I don't think it's going to be very extended, but there's also that, so I would imagine a number of hours, I don't know, 5, 10, 15, I have no idea, honestly. Especially if you're playing stealthily and you're using social stealth and trying to not get spotted properly, that might extend your your gameplay time, obviously. Do we know when review embargo lifts? I think it's already lifted. We weren't able to. We had to wait a little bit for the footage that you saw earlier, so we weren't able to share our first impressions sooner. But I think that the embargo lifted a week or two ago. I'm not so sure if it was previews or reviews, because I think I saw a few days or weeks ago Joe Raptor mentioning that he or somebody from the team had tested the game and was about to share their impressions as well. So I think it's already lifted. As you can see, Ezio can have, you know, double hidden blade. So I think you might be able to also double assassinate, obviously. And you can do the same with Connor. And you can air assassinate also, which I don't think I tested that. But you extend the hidden blade and then you jump over a character and you do the movement like that, which is pretty intense, pretty cool. Elena is asking, does Nexus have a soundtrack? I'm gonna say probably yes. I'm not sure if it has a lot of original pieces, because I'm not sure if it has a dedicated composer. If I recall correctly, the Ezio mission had a number of the AC2 tracks, and that makes sense, right? Because like if you want to replicate the feeling of being Ezio in Venice, I think I wasn't surprised to hear some of the classic AC2 tunes to replicate the feeling of, you know, being in Venice, etc. Hello, Cult of Ghost. Welcome to the stream.
Seba, which mission do you want to play more?
Yeah. Let's hear this. Where would you like to play as one of these characters? What would you like to do?
Well, I would love to play any mission in Florence with Ezio, but I don't think Florence is going to be available as a setting.
Yeah.
So Venice will do.
Okay.
Any nighttime mission in Venice, especially if it has the soundtrack from AC2 that you hear when you're in Venice. Like Tour of Venice. I'll be happy even with just the tune from Leonardo's Inventions.
Yeah,
part 1 and part 2.
I love them.
Very mysterious.
To answer, like, to follow up on that, I think there is a screenshot that we can have a look at now that confirms that there is a mission in nighttime in Venice during the Carnevale, or some kind of Carnevale. Let's see. Not this one, not this one, not this one, not this one, not this one.
Well,
I'm also excited to play as Connor, I can't wait.
But you won't, because you're gonna play as Connor. So there we go.
Oh, that's beautiful. I was hoping there would be fireworks. I know it's cheesy, but whatever.
Yeah, it is cheesy, but at times it is nice also in the game. It's pretty cool, honestly. So yes, as you can see, you can swim in the game. I don't think you can go underwater. I think I tried that and I wasn't able to. Was I? I don't remember. But yeah, you can at least swim in order to, you know, continue your stealth approach to ships or to boats, and I think that will apply also to Connor and Cassandra.
I wonder why they went with Odyssey instead of like either Valhalla or Mirage, since they're like, you know, the newest ones.
Well, I'm gonna say that Cassandra is super popular as a character.
Super popular for sure, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
It's the closest thing to Ezio that we got in this generation.
Yeah, very much so. There's no denying that. So I'm not surprised they went with Cassandra and.
Yeah, that makes sense. I don't think anyone loves Eivor nearly as much as.
Not as much as Cassandra. No.
Maybe Bayek, but
maybe Bayek, but yeah, I would say that there's way more fans. There are way more fans of Cassandra.
I mean, I don't prefer Cassandra. He's my favorite character, but I don't know. Maybe I would have loved a VR game with Bayek, actually.
Yeah, that would have been fun. But there might be, depending on how successful this is. But yeah.
I was reading just today that the Quest didn't really sell that much, so.
Well, we'll see about that. We'll see.
I hope Assassin's Creed changes that a little bit.
Yeah, I hope so.
Because if I like this game and I really know that I'm going to enjoy it, you know, I would want them to update it and to add things and scenarios and assassins.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But they might be, because I think that these games can receive updates. So I think there might be, like, if the game is properly successful, there might be, I don't know, new missions in the same settings or different settings or a new game after that. There were rumors about this.
Clemence, you cannot play this?
Oh.
Not even with the comfort settings?
I can say that. Oh damn. That's sad actually. Especially because I was about to bring this, like you did mention Cassandra, and one of the things that I wanted to mention here that was mentioned by the devs during the campaign for the game is that this is the first time that you are playing
using Cassandra's hidden blade.
Exactly, like you are playing as Cassandra and you're using Cassandra's hidden blade that was introduced in the crossover between Odyssey and Valhalla that Clemens worked on. So I'm not sure if you can answer in the chat, but like seeing your character growing up, it must feel pretty intense, pretty amazing, right? So like to
Is
see
the hidden blade in the right hand for Cassandra?
Good question.
Because I remember she had it in the left hand.
I think it might be in the wrong hand. I don't remember. I think it's in the actual right hand, so it's in the wrong hand. So it's in the right and wrong hand at the same time. There you go. So it's in the right hand, and I honestly don't recall if it's available.
I think in Valhalla she had it here.
She had it there. Okay, maybe. I honestly don't recall, but yeah.
I only remember from the virtual photography that I took.
Oh, okay, yeah. Surely, you have a penchant for details after doing all those amazing pictures. Zark is saying I would like to see this in PSVR too. Depending on how successful this is going to be, but I guess there are so many. What's this? Oh, okay. So in the key art for the crossover, Sari is showing that Cassandra has the hidden blade in the left arm and the left hand. So yeah, it's incorrect in this game. What was I?
Let's pretend she wanted to change after a couple of centuries.
Yeah, of course. I mean, you can't do always the same.
Oh, well, not a couple of centuries, because it's still set
20 years.
20 years.
Yeah, 20 years. So, yeah, I mean, still, you get bored after 20 years. So, okay, Zark is also confirming that in Valhalla it was in her left hand.
Cult of Ghosts says, Leonardo da Vinci looks very different in VR version of Assassin's Creed Nexus compared to Assassin's Creed 2. That's, I'm assuming, because this one is set not around Assassin's Creed 2, but around Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. So in Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, it's been already, some time.
A little bit.
I don't know why Leonardo got so much older compared to Ezio, but I guess parkour just keeps you,
keeps you
fresh.
happy.
I don't know. It's in the exercise.
Yeah, it's all in the exercise. The one assassin is asking, is there Brasidas in the Odyssey missions? No.
Probably not.
Probably not because he's dead. So like he died in the Battle of Amphipolis, if I'm not mistaken, and the Odyssey portion of Nexus takes place 20 years after that.
Bless him.
So bless him. Maybe Cassandra will mention him or something like that. The cool thing about this, one of the cool things about the game is that the voice actors for all three characters are going to come back. So Roger Craig Smith will reprise his role as Ezio. Noah Watts will reprise his role as Connor. And,
Nice.
And of course, we will have the Melisanti going back to voice Cassandra. So it's going to be pretty fun as well. So that's going to be pretty cool.
Did anyone ever comment or cry about the fact that you get to play as Cassandra and not as Alexios?
I haven't seen any comment about that.
That's good. The world is healing.
Yeah, the world is healing. So yeah, this is the grid that you can feel while you're doing the leap of faith. Can we go back for a second? So we can have a look at the one of the accessibility features.
Oh, that weird grid, so that like it gives you the feeling that you're still in somewhere grounded.
That you're still in a confined place.
It shows.
Where is it? Okay, can you... We're gonna get back to that.
That
Yeah,
is
yeah,
it.
we're gonna stop it when it's there.
There is an AC escape room in Paris at
Oh
the
yes,
game company.
yes. I've never been there, but I've seen that there are a few. Maybe I think there's 2 or 3. I remember seeing Claudio going to there. There we go. This is a grid.
It shows where your
It
floor is.
shows basically the floor around you and in front of you that shows you that you are not really jumping, but there's a ground in front of you physically.
I love how this grid somewhat resembles the White Room.
Exactly, like it still visually feels like the Animus, and while you're jumping, you can still see it at any time during the jump. Actually, I think you can play the entirety of the game with this, so it doesn't trigger while you're jumping. It's just there for you to see that. See, even while you are triggering the leap of faith, it's still there. So it's pretty amazing. And yes, there are a number of escape rooms, but the ones in Paris are actually physical. Like you have to escape a proper room, and it has a story as far as I remember. Like there's a story about assassins and Templars, and you have to find stuff in that room and then escape, probably. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I hope we can get to. This is the menu with the comfort features, and yeah, story, modern day, etc. The floor grid reminds me of the Lost Archive in Revelation. It does. That's true. It does remind of that. Like in the Lost Archive DLC for Revelations. It was in first person, and you had items that you created in front of you to continue your path. So in a way, it does remind of that. That's pretty cool, actually. And yeah, so this is Dominica Wilkes. There's a story in there. We're not really super educated on what it is. Not well versed. As you can see, the ranged weapons can be very different from each of the characters, and it's nice because Connor has a bow, but at the same time he can also throw the tomahawk. So it's like.
Is there any info about what Abstergo searches in memories again?
So if I recall correctly.
Probably an ISU artifact that can generate AI images. I don't know.
Oh. But yeah. Oh man, that was crazy. Like yesterday, and then I get to answer. But yeah, yesterday seeing more than one Ubisoft account posting AI imagery, it almost felt like they were coordinated in a way. After some of the layoffs at Ubisoft, it wasn't really nice, honestly. I hope.
Yes. Anyway, let's go back to what the question was.
Yeah. Okay. So
I'm assuming they're looking for an artifact.
Yeah, they are looking actually for multiple artifacts. I think, or the same artifact through time. Not quite sure.
Oh, here's a question I have that ties up to this.
Okay.
So you can answer that and mine as well.
Okay.
You have Ezio, Connor, and Cassandra.
Yes.
Is the story are the stories connected? Like, are we seeing those memories because what we're looking in one historical period is connected to the next one? Like, are the three stories connected in what the story is about, or just like independent?
I would assume that they might be at least loosely connected to each other. I don't think it was mentioned if the stories are connected. They are all famous characters in AC, so they might not necessarily be connected through narrative reasons, other than the artifacts that Abstergo is looking for in the modern day. But there might be I would expect at least some sort of loose connection between the stories in order to have a flow of the story and the narrative at all times while you're playing. And to answer your question, the description says that Abstergo once has found a way to retrieve artifacts that can be used to manipulate people's beliefs, which I would imagine those are apples of Eden, standard stuff, so that those are familiar for fans. But it didn't say apples, so it might be something completely different. But yeah, basically, you as an assassin, experienced hacker, you're going undercover.
Maybe it's gonna be something mind-blowing, like maybe it's gonna be something that you put on your face like a VR kind of thing.
Oh yeah, the visor of Eden, something like that. It would be nice. Like it would, because like not most of the time, but oftentimes the pieces of Eden in the game are designed to suit the character. So it might be the same here, like to suit the new gameplay feeling, the new gameplay approach. So it might be pretty cool. Is close combat worth it? How real does it feel? I would say
This is something I'm super excited about. I know everybody's gonna be surprised about this, but the first time I got the VR, I got to try. So I interrupted everyone. I'm sorry. A friend of mine gave me his PlayStation 4 VR, so it's like it's not supported with this game, but I got to try it, and I remember something that I wanted to try was like a game in which I'm like just a warrior with a sword and a shield, and just like beating the shit out of people like this. So I'm looking forward to do this in Assassin's Creed. Like if Assassin's Creed gives me the chance to do that, I'm gonna love it.
It will. It will. There are.
This is gonna be the first and only Assassin's Creed game in which I will just looking to fight.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, I guess that the main, or at least the original main pillars of Assassin's Creed are all replicated here in a very good way. So combat is, I would say, standard for VR games, in that you are exactly like you're wielding your sword, you don't have a shield, and you have to counter attacks. There are attacks that you cannot counter, and you have to either dodge, or I don't recall what you had to do. But yeah, it does feel like proper combat. If you are already used to other VR combat experiences, it's probably not gonna feel, something innovative or incredible. But if you haven't played any VR game, and you're going to, if this is going to be your first one or one of your first ones, combat will feel very cool. Like I only tested, like in terms of VR games, I only tested the two escape rooms, the VR escape rooms, and a demo for Resident Evil 7 in VR, which was crazy scary. I loved it, but I never played the whole game in that. But of course, it didn't have combat. Like you had to sneak and not get spotted by zombies and enemies, etc. Or at least the demo that they tested didn't have shooting and combat, etc. for Resident Evil. So this time it was the first time for me to experience sword fighting in a VR game, which felt pretty amazing, honestly. And stealth does feel amazing as well, or at least it does bring the tension of being spotted. There are tailing missions in the game, or at least I did. The Venice mission that we tested had a tailing portion, and you had to stealth your way, sneak your way through the streets of Venice, or you could parkour and look at your target from the roofs. You could use social stealth. You could hide behind walls and then peek to have a look at where the character was going. So stealth will also feel pretty nice, and parkour also will feel intense for sure. Like if you're trying to do proper parkour, like running and jumping and moving from platform to platform, like we're seeing right now, it's going to be somewhat automatic, in that you provide the direction and you keep pushing a button, and I think this is where I found a little bit of hardship. It was a little tough for me because you are providing the direction both with the sticks and your head. So while you're doing parkour, you have to tell the game and impose the game that you are going forward, that you are running, but also you want to tell the game where you want to parkour, in which direction, and you have to do that with your head. So it takes a little bit to approach that, but again, when you can manage that, it feels amazing. Like as you can see, like jumps are they feel proper, and yeah, you as you can see, this is another parkour sequence, and you can it's feeling even more immersive because you can see the arms moving as you're jumping. So it's pretty cool. Is the game canon to the main AC timeline? It should be, yes, Megalolo. I have not heard or read anything about this game not being canon. They brought back the voice actors, and they also contextualized all the missions. So I don't think that it's not going to be canon. Like all the missions are contextualized in the. I'm hearing a reverb. Okay, I'm not. No, okay, I'm good. Okay. So yeah. So yeah, I think it's going to be very interesting. As you can see, there's a selector of the missions. I am not sure if you can replay the missions. It's going to be interesting, honestly, because the game is organized in missions. So it's not like a huge open world where you go to a place, then you start the mission. It's more like, as far as I know, because we were put directly at the start of the mission. But I think you can select the mission, and then you start it, and you are placed in your playground, right? So I think you can replay. You might be able to replay the missions. So it's going to be interesting. Hopefully.
Is there a chance of Dasha Cam tonight?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yes? Okay, so there's a chance for both a Dasha cam and a Canon cam. Canon is so dirty because it's been raining around here, and he's been digging holes in our garden, so he's so friggin' dirty. Canon, Dasha and Canon, for those who might not know, are dogs and mascots. So yeah, maybe towards the end of the stream we're going to show how they're faring. And something that I saw in the screen, maybe we can go back. There is catch ledge in the game. So so when you are dropping yourself from the top of a building, what did you do, Sari? Where is it now? Who knows where is the catch ledge footage? But yeah, I can confirm. Oh, there's also this, which wasn't in the Ezio mission, so you can also hold to stuff and move yourself. But yeah, as you can see, like there's a lot of items that you can climb onto, and there is catch ledge. So if you jump and you can't reach the top of the building or the wherever you're trying to, you can catch the ledge, or if you're dropping yourself, you can catch any kind of item to stop your fall. And then continue your parkour, which is pretty cool. Canon has done nothing wrong in his whole life, says Elena. Do you agree?
No.
You disagree? Yeah, catch ledge is great to have, but indeed something they couldn't do without. What do you mean, Animus Drifter? They couldn't do without? They could do without. I mean, they could just have you jump and. You know,
Oh wait, that's true. But maybe we talked about it, and I was messaging here. Is there a way to can you fall and die?
Yes. I'm not sure if you can die,
Okay.
but I'm pretty sure that you can jump. So the manual jump.
You lose life. Yeah.
You lose health, right?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, so you can trigger your jump. It's not manual jump in the way that you push the button and you jump. What is that? Okay. But at the same time, you can jump off a building in the direction you want. And so you can take damage when you're jumping. So it's sort of like in the recent games. I'm pretty sure there wasn't manual jump. Pretty sure. Because there's not. I don't recall a jump button in the game. Don't think so. Canon is just a big fan of AC, and when you get AC stuff, he can't barely wait. Yes, he destroyed already 2 of my books that I ordered. And when there's 2, there's 3 at some point. You know, we actually had to put a notice outside of our house to tell the couriers to put items in a specific place so that the dog cannot reach them. So yeah, we had to do that. Any chance to play this outside in a park? Yes, Sebastian was suggesting that earlier. Because you need to play only with a visor and 2 joypads.
Yeah, you don't need to like be attached to a cable unless it's like the
Exactly.
the charge. Like if it's fully charged, you can go out with your visor. I have it right. Give me a second. I'm gonna grab it.
Yeah, so you can show how it feels. And like I mentioned earlier, you can also sit down and play the game. You don't have to play while standing. There's one of the accessibility features allows you to play the game without like by sitting down. So it's interesting in that regard. Here's Sebastian with his visor, with his Quest 3. Is that Arno in the background? Is that Arno in the background? I think. The cat. Is it? Yeah, there he is.
Arno.
Arno. So we have another mascot tonight. So anyway, yeah.
You got the thing, and
yeah.
you put the game in your thing here, and you just carry around. Boop.
Can you hold it with the cap on? Yeah.
And I can still see you. Wait, give me a second.
Yeah, because the thing is, the Quest has
Wait, I have the
also
cap on.
the Quest has also a visor in front of you, so you can actually see reality, and it can also have augmented reality applications.
And it's see-through, so I can still like.
Yeah, you can see us. You can see. Yeah, exactly. So it's pretty cool like that. So you just need the visor and the 2 controllers, and that's it. Thank you, Zark, for joining us. That was so kind of you to join us. It was nice to see you again, and thank you so much for the donation. That was super kind of you. See you in the servers. And yeah, this is pretty much the way you can play the game. So visor on, you can sit down and use the. You can see him. Yeah, you can see Sebastian. He's in his own VR world.
Come here, I can see you, I can talk to you, and I can see you, and I can hear you.
This is we are in the year 3000 with all this new tech.
We are in the year 2099.
Oh, you don't say that. You can't say that officially. I mean, the rumors have been running.
I didn't say anything. I just said a year that it's going to arrive at some point in our future.
That was so random.
Maybe not for us, but
that was so specific. So how much does it weigh, the visor? Asks.
This is very light.
Very
and
light.
I tried other visors. Like I have the PS4 one. I have the first Meta Quest because a friend of mine left it here for me to try.
Okay.
And like this is very thin, and you can change. You can also like change.
Oh, look at that. Okay.
Use to attach it to your head. Like you can just unstrap these.
Okay.
And put something else. Maybe you can buy third party.
Oh.
And
okay.
like this is. Like the black part that you see in the visor, it's not even part of the machine. Like you can take this off
Yeah,
This
that's
is here only like to fill it in
yeah,
and
that's
to
a
keep the
silicon.
darkness in.
Yeah, that's
But
a
like
silicon mask, I think, something like that.
this is how thick it is. The
Oh
whole
wow.
thing.
Oh
It's
wow.
this thin, and it's like it's very light compared to the old ones, to the previous ones, and it's just you can put it on, and you don't even need to put it off like to be outside because it's see through, so you can see the world outside inside the machine,
Which is
and
pretty amazing, honestly.
it's pretty cool. And yeah, you can like just grab it, go to the park somewhere maybe where there aren't as many people and play Assassin's Creed there.
Yeah, that's
Maybe
pretty.
go with a friend.
I can't imagine how multiplayer would feel in this. Would
Yeah.
feel great, honestly. It does come with the sunlight warning. Hello, Alvidas. Welcome to the stream.
Sunlight warning?
What do you mean name? As in, if you are playing, like looking at the outside world through the visor, you think that maybe if you're looking at the world through the visor and if you're looking at the sun, it might, you know, be harmful for your eyes. I'm not sure. I think the lenses should not be like a direct sun for a long time. Oh, maybe, yes. Okay, so there are actually warnings about sunlight through the visor on the MetaQuest website. It says, oh, it suggests not to use the visor outside. Okay, so okay, okay, so maybe do not try and use the visor outside.
Maybe.
If Facebook and Quest says that, maybe. But if it's on your face, sunlight can get to the lenses. I'm not quite sure, honestly. This is one of the historical fragments that you can find in the game, so there are collectibles, like I mentioned. So yeah, I think, yeah, that's more or less our first impressions. Before wrapping up the stream, before we do the Canon and Dashcam, if you guys have any more lingering questions before we wrap up, I think this is the time for you to ask them. Any kind of question on any aspect of the game, we'll try our best to answer those questions. I remember doing this exact specific parkour route because the game sort of like tells you to go there in order to reach Antonio here. It's pretty amazing, honestly. Does Ezio have the hidden gun? No. It doesn't have that, but you have smoke bombs and throwing knives and the crossbow, and you have, in order to equip them, you have to get them from your body and get them and then use them. And the same,
Like to physically grab them
yeah.
from your, like you look at your like belt and you grab whatever you need.
Exactly.
And use
Like
it.
you look at your body and then you grab with the grab button the object and then you throw it. And for the crossbow specifically, you have to get the crossbow. You have to get the ammo from your back. You have to get the ammo on the crossbow. Then you have to do this like suiting the ammo on the crossbow, and then you can point it, and then you have to trigger it. So it is pretty immersive. Is there any DLC coming to Mirage? I have no idea, honestly. I don't expect any of those to be there, even if there was a message on the dashboard of the game, but I don't think there's going to be any DLC. Maybe some quality of life patches for the game, but not proper DLCs.
I still need to get Rashan's outfit.
Yeah, same. I wasn't able to. I'm still working on the ending analysis of Mirage. I'm still editing. Soon.
Looking forward to it.
Yeah. It's this one is going to be super huge. Like, if everything goes according to plan, it should be 30 minutes long. It's going to be pretty long. But anyway, I think we can almost wrap the stream up, but
Arno
before...
wants treats, so I think it is time.
So let's actually dive into the Dasha Cam, but I don't know where it is. So, oh, it's Irion. Okay, so let's see. Is it here? It's not triggering. Sari, help! Sì, ma non compare. So maybe I have to put it up here. I'm gonna crash the stream, I promise.
No, just no, please.
No?
I'm coming.
Okay. It's not working. I swear it's not working.
Okay.
See? It's not me. And I did not crash the stream. So, let's see. It's not triggering again.
Because you moved it below yours.
I didn't do anything. I swear I did not. Oh my god, we are so old. What did I do?
You are old.
See, you had to move it. Okay. See, it's not my fault. Okay, so now it's going to trigger in a few. There we go. Dasha Khan, there she is. She's sleeping. She's so sweet. She's so old. Also, today she was very picky. She wanted a lot of attention. There she is, the old lady. She's 13 now. Her Majesty, as Elena says. Okay, so I think we can... Oh, there it... Oh, she woke up. Okay, nice. There she is. Roshan's outfit is on Ubisoft Connect. You don't need to finish the game to get it. Yeah, very much so. Okay, so let me turn the camera off so we can have... So Sari can go to Canon and we can say hi to Canon as well. See? That's a C. You let me know when. Let her know I would die for her, for Dasha. That's there is the boyo, and he is so dirty. Like, you can see from his muzzle that he dug through he dug through our garden after it rained.
Like your Basha.
He's so he's
Ma si è
so
fatto già così grande?
yes, he's so
Mamma
huge.
mia.
Like I don't know how heavy he is now. He must be
Eccomi di nuovo ad essere un figlio di mezzo.
So yeah, there he is. So Camila is saying Boyo, rascal baby Boyo. Yeah. There he is. But he's became okay. So let's move back to the camera, to us. Yeah, he's behaving a little better now. He's still a rascal, but Sebastian speaking Italiano is the best thing I've seen today.
Sorry for the random Italian.
Oh well, it was heartfelt. So yeah. Okay, I think that on that note, after finishing our stream in the classic ATA stream way with our mascots, I think we can wrap up the stream. Thank you guys so much for joining us in this special live stream where we discussed Assassin's Creed Nexus, the upcoming VR game releasing on November the 16th, I think. So 15 days left.
Yeah, just 2 weeks before it's out.
Just 2 weeks, and then I can't wait. I'm not. Maybe we're gonna try and get that as well. We're still on the verge, but surely I'm gonna look forward to see you playing it and to see your reactions while you're playing. I can't wait to see you stream it. It's going to be amazing.
I wonder how I'm going to be able to stream it, but I'll try.
Same here. We've been considering options.
Yeah, but considering I'm having motion sickness.
Yeah, so it would either be me streaming and having a look at the chat. I'm not too sure. We're still considering that. But anyway, guys, thank you guys so much for joining us. Thank you, Sebastian, for taking some of your time.
Thank you for having me.
It was so cool to share some of the hype about this game. see you all in our next stream. I'm not too sure when. We're probably going to go back to Mirage very soon. Keep an eye out on our channel because soon, not sure when, but soon we're gonna release the full second part of the ending analysis. It's gonna be a whopper of an analysis, but yeah. So take care. It's getting cold all over the world. So be safe wherever you are, and we'll see you in our next stream.